What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about JJ the Boss, the Memphis crew, and more specifically JJ's arm drop. I uploaded a video today, Wednesday the 28th, on the project car for this channel. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. With that being said, let's start the video right here. One thing I want to say before I kick this video off and say anything about JJ, the Memphis crew, any of them, is I have so much respect for JJ the Boss for putting all this together, for putting himself out there, dragging the back bumper, and for outrunning Birdman on the street. $13,000 on the line, cash money. It was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think it might have been after Outlaw Armageddon. I'm not sure. It was after some big track race that Birdman was there and might have won that race. But there's a picture on the screen right now of that video. 1320 made one. But find the video that's on the screen right now. Watch it if you haven't watched it. JJ run out of Birdman's life on the street. Did happen. And then when they raced at the track and Birdman outrun JJ, if you watch the whole race, the stipulations that they had said Birdman could not do a burnout past the starting line. And Birdman did. So technically, he lost. But JJ said, no, I ain't taking it like that. Let's race. And Birdman outrun JJ. But if you want to get technical about it, JJ has beat Birdman 3 times. And I don't know any other street racer or even track racer that can say they've outrun Birdman 3 times. With that being said, I want to kind of address something that I think is how this played out. I think this episode was recorded before Midget, Tricia, whatever you want to call her, had flipped zip tie, because I really don't think that they could have fixed that car and it looked just like it did in a week. I don't think that happens. I think they had, a producer or a film crew telling them to say that's what happened. Just like when Sean said their cars wasn't there when they went to Kansas, I think it was, and raced, and he's propped up against the car when he's saying that. If you go back to episode 2, 4, 5, something like that, of the Chief and Sean podcast, that's all they talk about. So I think that's how it played out. I think that's how it went down. I could be wrong, but I think it was awesome that it come down to Tricia and JJ in the final, $32,000. After the semifinals, when they realized it was just them two, they knew they was taking the money home. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was almost so good that it was planned, but I really don't think it's planned. I think that's how it really was. I love the fact that they don't race each other, but I think that's going to be the downfall of the show. They are going to run out of people to race without racing them over and over and over if they don't race each other. Okay, let's talk about Precious and Jason Cantu. JJ and them saying that he tried to burn Precious down. I don't think that was the case at all. If you notice, there hasn't been but just a handful of twin-turbo cars that has raced against Memphis on the show. I think that guy had not street raced very much and did not know how to stage that car. I don't think he tried to burn her down. I think it just was taking him that long to get staged. If you notice, he bumped. He was bumping. He wasn't just sitting there not doing nothing. I don't think he tried to burn her down. I think that's just how it played out. Because once they all rushed him and jumped on him, and the guy who started the fight wasn't even part of that crew. He was just running his head, and sometimes you got a man on somebody, and that's what happened. But same guy come back to race Trish Midget, and she outrun him. He couldn't keep the truck straight, rolled on, zip tie for the win. One more thing that is telling me that this was filmed earlier on in the season is Mustang Mike did not race in that, and Mustang Mike is one of the faster cars in that crew on the Memphis list, and a guy who is on the Memphis list who I have heard come out of JJ's mouth that he is the fastest car they have, and that is Don Gingrich in Gangster. I do not understand at all why Gangster wasn't there. That is the yellow Firebird that's on the screen right now, and that car has been wicked fast since the first JJ arm drop that I seen, where he debuted the car on the streets of the 405. I'll tell you another race that kind of surprised me. That C4 Corvette big block killer of Jeffrey James, that car's fast. That car's faster than I ever thought it was. If JJ would not have stole the hit on that, there's no way JJ would have come around him in a prostitute and won. Jeffrey James would have won that race, not a doubt in my mind. One more race I want to talk about, and something that was said, is when Kenneth Gully raced that 67 Mustang, who went on to race Carp, that Carp outran. JJ and them come up to him and said that they thought he should wait because he has jumped on everybody, chases a race, and that's how he's been winning all season long, and they was afraid that people had caught on. But in reality, when all these races, this whole season had went down, you know, I'm sure that the street racing crew and the street racing scene and the, you know, people who is really, really into it knows more about this stuff than, you know, about anybody. But I really don't think that they could have known. For one, none of the shows had aired, and, you know, all this stuff happened within, you know, a couple of months, and I don't see how the word could have got out that he was jumping on everyone and stealing a hit and winning. I think that was part of the television show, that was part of the drama side of the television show, and I just don't believe that one bit. Another race I want to talk about, and that is when Midget raced that 69 Camaro, and the guy who was driving that 69 Camaro is the guy's dad who Gangster raced a couple of weeks ago, and Gangster gave the guy the hit, but there was a chase as a race in there. Gangster stole a hit, the guy took off, and there was a big fight. The guy who was running up to JJ saying, he jumped, that was the guy that he raced, and the car rolled forward and died on the line. That car didn't roll forward. He tried to steal the hit and jump, and it died on him. That's what happened. It wasn't tram brake issues. It wasn't none of that. That was all that happened. I don't know if anybody noticed when JJ's arms dropped when Cart raced at Red Nova, but JJ busted his ass out there. He fell in between there. And that kind of makes me think more into it. And I've thought this before, that, man, them standing between them two cars taking off is a dangerous-ass place to be standing. JJ fell. If one of them cars would have took off and hooked right, hooked left, you know, hooked to the center, he would have been done for. That would have been it. Game over. JJ, done. And, you know, I don't know how far in front of them they are. I'd say, you know, half a car length. Enough that if one tire hooked and one didn't, he's done. Game over, lights out, done. No more Memphis Street Outlaws, nothing. One more thing about the Jason Cantu thing where they were saying he burned Precious down. When that escalated real quick, and JJ ain't no joke, you know, he says you got a man on somebody if somebody's in your face, and I fully believe that dude's face was pretty messed up. You know, JJ had a little spot on his head, but I believe JJ got on that guy's head pretty good and whooped him. That was a pretty interesting little thing to see. You know, you can tell by looking at JJ, the way he carries himself, he don't take no shit. And he proved right then, you know, Carp and all of them was standing there, you know, trying to get him not to go after the guy. But for one, the guy wouldn't shut his face. He just kept running his head, and, you know, like I just said, sometimes you got a man on somebody. I'll tell you one more thing about Midget rolling the zip tie in the last week's episode. She needs arm restraints. I've noticed something about several of these guys as far as safety equipment goes. You know, yeah, I understand they got fire trucks and they got cops and they got all this stuff going on. But in the in-car cam of her wrecking zip tie, her arms is flying around everywhere. Her feet's in the passenger seat. You know, I understand she rode this car running at, you know, 150 mile an hour. But, you know, they make safety equipment to keep you in that seat, holding on to something. You know, keep your arms from just flying everywhere. Keep your legs where they're supposed to. You know, they make safety equipment for this, and I don't understand how they get by without it. You know, hey, I'm not supposed to understand this stuff, I guess, but I don't see how they don't do it. I don't see how they don't get hurt really bad. And when JJ and that cat got in a fight, it showed one scene where the ambulance was rolling up and there's a cop car rolling up. Did you see how slow that cop got out of that cop car? You could tell either he really didn't want to be there or he really didn't want to be in that fight, because it showed, and it looked like he was scared to death to get out of the cop car. He was turning around making sure that the backup was there and all, you know. That's what he got paid to do. He should have been up there stopping that to roll that on, in my opinion. All right, with all that being said, I want to say one or two things, and I want to end this video. Number one is the mega race going on between Richard and Alex versus the Fireball Bunch and Ryan Martin. I'm going to make one video just summarizing all of it, because to me they're dragging it out, and it's going, if I made a video on every one of them, I wouldn't have very much to talk about. So I'm going to put them all in one video and be done that way. I do want to say one thing about that, and that is when they walked out there to that Challenger at Gas Monkey, how dusty and dirty it was. Do you think that car's really been sitting there for a year? There's no way it's been outside for a year, but do you think it's been just sitting there and not doing nothing? It looked like it had Bondo sand and dust on it, like it had been in a paint shop or something. But he said it had been there for a year. Do you believe that or what? I don't truly believe nothing Richard Rollins says. When he was talking about, he was wanting to call him back out again, he said, well, I don't know. I don't even really watch the show, talking about Street Outlaws, and that's bullshit. But, I'm going to put all that in one video, so just stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. Number two is I want to say that the video I uploaded about the car, I'm so sorry for the quality and the sound, mainly the quality, the bumping and rustling noise and stuff, which I told you in the video that I had lost my suction cup to put on the windshield, which would have cut down a lot of that. But I'm filming with a GoPro Hero 5, and the microphone in that thing is so sensitive that if you bump it, touch it, even if you got it on a selfie stick or on a handle or on anything other than a tripod where it's not touching nothing, all that sound bleeds through. And I didn't realize that when I bought it. I would have bought a 4 Silver or a different camera. But stay with me, stay tuned, be patient. I promise things are coming. This channel blew up quicker than I ever thought it would, but stay with me. I promise you, things are getting better. I'm learning so much, and it's all going to be worth it in the end, trust me, because I have so many big things planned for this channel. It's just mind-blowing. The last thing I want to talk about before I sign off for this video is, I have read so many comments about, the way I sound on video, my sunglasses and all that. Usually, right now, it's nearly 10 o'clock. I got to be up at 5. I haven't even got my stuff ready for tomorrow. I am always so tired making these videos, but I enjoy it so much that bear with me. You got to remember, I work a 50-plus hour week job, plus do this, and with my editing skills, it takes a while for me to edit them because I have to stretch it out for so long. Right now, it's Wednesday night, and this video will be uploaded, Friday or Saturday. So it takes me what little bit of time I have every day to get that little bit of editing done each day to have a video that I feel like is good enough to put out. Bear with me. The deal with the sunglasses, I've said it in 100 videos, but, there's just some people who just can't read or don't understand or whatever, but I do this where I don't have to look directly at the camera, because I feel like with my sunglasses off, if I'm not looking directly at the camera, I'm not looking directly at you. I can look anywhere I want and keep my concentration, and you cannot tell where my eyes are. There's a million YouTubers do it. If you notice, most YouTubers do it. So that's why, again, it's about the 5th time I've said it, but there we go. That's it. I'm signing off. I'm give out. As always, all your comments, questions, everything in the comment section below, or the email address right here on the screen. If you haven't already subscribed, you should be able to click in one of the top hand corners to subscribe. Should be able to click in the other top hand corner to watch the video on the project car. I hope everybody has a good day. Godspeed. Thanks for watching.